have, Arabia? You have? This is going to be a short, quick meeting, so. Don't take your jackets off. Awesome. Hey, Commissioner, how are you? No, not yet. The what?
It's 5:32, Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. We're going to start the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. First of all, we're going to say thank you, gentlemen, and ladies and gentlemen, for coming out tonight. We're going to do some admin real quick, and Jan, would you please come up and just know about everybody's been present except for Randy Boyd. Commissioner Randy Boyd's not present today. He's absent.
That's correct. We received an email from Mr. Voigt stating that he was not going to be present tonight, and I reminded him that would have been his second unexcused absence, and he went ahead and said that he couldn't help it, and so he was going to forfeit the remainder of his term. So we now have an opening per our charter. We're to have 9 commissioners. And so our councilwoman, Mayrani Velazquez, is aware. And so if you have any recommendations, I encourage you to reach out to her and make your ideas and wishes or whatever to her. And then she'll make that appointment.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes.
Someone can only serve on one board at a time, is that correct?
No, ma'am. It just depends on which boards they are, because we do have, volunteers that serve on multiple boards. So, but it depends on the board. Yes. Oh, yes, thank you for reminding me. I stood before you last month on December the 19th and when we went through this procedure and stated that Matt Malone had an unexcused, but he recused himself because he had an application that had been presented, and I did not communicate that with you. So that was an excused absence for December the 19th. So I apologize.
on to item number 5, adoption of minutes. Commissioners, have y'all had a chance to look at last month's meeting or minutes? And if so, please, if you have a motion. I have a motion to approve last month of December 19, 2024 meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries. Looks like we don't have a public hearing today. So that's continue on to, we don't have an action item, so we're going to move to number 8, business items today. 8.1, to discuss and consider final plat in the Los Lomas Phase 1, a residential development for 7 additional single-family homes and 1 non-residential lot situated in the 1.008 acres of land, more described being lot 1 through 7, Block B, and Lot 8X of Block B, out of the Lewis Pierce Survey Abstract 373, Los Lomas Municipal Utility District 4A, in the city of Terrell, ETJ, Kaufman County, Texas, FP 25-03.
Chairman and Commissioners, if it's okay with you, I'd like to combine items 8.1 and 8.2. These are the final plats for our Los Lomas development. I brought to you back, and they're very similar, just the parcels involved. On 8.1 was the additional parcels that we amended. We're amending the final plat to add those 7 additional residential parcels that were created after the final plat of the main development. And so if you'll let me, if it's all right with you, I'd like to just give you information on both item 8.1 and 8.2, and then ask for your decision and consideration on that. So on 8.1 and 8.2, this both applies to them. The applicant previously submitted a construction plat for the original phase of 232 residential lots in Phase 1, and then in Phase 2, it was for 233 residential lots. That application was approved by P&Z on June 25th of 2020. On October 24th of 24, a construction plat application was presented and approved to P&Z for the additional of 7 residential lots and 1 non-residential for Phase 1. And for Phase 2, it was 3 residential lots with 1 non-residential lot. Today, the applicant has completed the requirements of a final plat application for both Phase 1 and for Phase 2. And they are requesting for your consideration and approval of this administrative procedure to approve those final plats so that they can take the plats to the county, file it, and start selling lots. So staff recommends approval of the final plat application for Los Lomas Phase 1, which is FP 25-03, and Los Lomas Phase 2, FP 25-04. And I'll pause for any questions.
Can I just add this final plat for 25-03 and 25-04?
No, we don't have all of the streets, but everything else that they're required to do has been reviewed and approved. This was in an area that was originally floodplain, and they satisfied all the FEMA and the other requirements to be able to carve out additional lots in Phase 1 and Phase 2.
So you approved this construction plat many years ago, probably a year or so
In
ago.
2020.
They're already in construction. There's houses out there in some of the areas. What's coming before you today is there's 7 lots in one phase, 3 lots in another phase. And these lots were actually touching part of the FEMA map. And so when they touch that changes all the rules in the world. So what they did is they proceeded on with the rest of their construction plat of their homes. and they're fulfilling all that. Now they want to come in and do this. So they did a LOMAR F, which means it's a LOMAR means they're going to make a map, and they're going to make these lots, and they had to do a study, a drainage study and a flood study, that they don't impact their neighbors downstream. So all that has been completed and all that. So this is the final part of this wrapping up.
So I see the one that says 7, but I don't see, why am I missing?
Okay, so then go to, if you'll, on the location map for Phase 1 is on page, oh, you had that up, Arabia, if you can go back. Okay, that, there is Phase 1, and that is the location of the Phase 1. And the little divot area,
So if you'll
that-
go to the next page, whatever this page is.
I see.
So that's a detailed blow-up of the 7 lots. You'll back up one page. If you look at the, probably about about a fourth of the way down the page, it's pointing to proposed lots, sheet 2, sheet 2, and that's what we were referring to as the 7 lots.
So 8.1 and 8.2, because weren't you talking about 8.2 as well?
So 8.1 is 7 lots, and 8.2 is 3 lots in phase 2.
Okay, where are those 3 lots? That's what I'm,
okay, so go to your page.
sorry, I'm just trying to.
No, that's okay. Go to the page 25. And then it's further described on 27 too. But then you'll see those 3 lots. There's 3 residential lots and then 1 non-residential.
Do you know what the non-residential is?
It's a green, a buffer. It's just a, yeah.
It's not commercial. It's
Oh, no,
okay, gotcha.
none of these 2 phases have any kind of neighborhood services in them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And they do have their FEMA reports?
Yes. Yes.
Have a motion to approve FP 25-03 and FP 25-04.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve business item 8.1, 8.2.
I have a
Final
motion, I have a motion to approve 8.1 and 8.2. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, going to move on to item 8.3, discuss and consider construction plat in the North Spur Phase 1C development for 141 single-family residential lots and 7 non-residential lots being 23.977 acres and situated in the L. Pierce Survey Abstract Number 373 and the East Spivey Survey Abstract 495 of the City of Terrell, Kaufman County, Texas. It's CP 25-04.
Chairman and Commissioners, this is a construction plat for a North Spur development that's on the west end of US 80, right there where the Spur and 80 come together. This is the second phase that's been presented to you. The Plan Development Ordinance number 2949, which is a part of your package, was presented and approved by P&Z on June 23rd of 2022, and the final approval by the City Council on December 28th of 22. A development agreement was executed by City Council on December 20th of 2022. Phase 1A final plat was presented to this board in September 12th of 2024 and was voted in favor of that application. Today, the developer's coming to you for the next phase. This next phase is going to consist of 141 residential lots and 7 non-residential lots. Per the terms of the development agreement and planned development ordinance, Phase 1C will consist of a minimum of 50-foot widths by 139-foot length lots. This development is located north of Highway 80 at the intersection with Spur 557 between the High Point Creek floodplain on the west and Terry Creek on the east, extending generally to County Road 239A, which is to the north. Staff recommends approval of this application, this construction plat application. If you will turn to the next few pages. And Arabia's already beat me. She's got a location map up here. On page 36 is the plat of the 141 single-family residential lots. So if you're looking at this location map right now, imagine having our future outer loop to the east, okay? Go back. Okay, we can work with this. So right here to the farthest east is a greenbelt area. That's going to act as a buffer, because on the other side of that will be a future frontage road and then our future toll road that TxDOT is going to be building for us. So this is, if you look down to the south, there's a floodplain area around in the south area, and then Phase 1A is then directly southern from that area. And I have a bigger map that is considered, what page? 8.39, and you're going to see the concept plan, and then you can also then come back to the next page and see where that layout is in relationship to the Phase 1A. Phase 1A already has the name of the streets, and then the 1C is in red. It is in a planned development, so the zoning, it meets all the requirements. The civil set was reviewed by our city staff engineering and an outsourced company, and it complies with all of our zoning ordinances, our TCSS building standards, and our other applicable ordinances. And I will pause it for any questions.
Okay, Commissioners, have y'all, I don't know if y'all have had a chance to or not, have y'all had a chance to go out there and walk the first phase?
Yes, I have.
Yes, and it's pretty interesting. It's real nice out there.
Sure is.
I mean, I don't know about that, it just looks like a neighborhood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yep, absolutely,
First phase
absolutely.
is, looks great out there. Looking forward to seeing, I guess, the first house being built out there here pretty soon.
There's going to be a lot of changes here in the next few months.
That's great.
Do we have any questions for staff in regards to the construction plat 25-04?
Yeah, I have a couple. Non-residential lots, what will those be? Are they retail?
Great, no, there's no retail neighborhood services in these two developments. This is strictly, now 1B, Phase 1B will have neighborhood services, retail, commercial. But 1A, but that's not today, yeah.
And then I don't see anything in the way of, obviously I see what looks like a pretty big detention area in the center, but we all know that that sometimes doesn't work across an entire complex. So where is the detention for this particular, and how are we going to keep,
Okay, if you'll,
every time you put impervious cover down, you have to think about where the runoff is?
right.
So where is that stuff going?
Okay, so if you'll go back to page 15, it's the page right after our construction plat. And as you can see right now in this phase, and Chris, you want to speak on that? I've got mine open right here if you want to.
Where is that's Los Lomas there that you have up, Arabia.
Right here. Oh, I told you the wrong page, I'm sorry. It's page 36. There's not, we don't have one detention pond unless it's right here.
So if you go to the next page, keep going, right there. So the drainage of this, as you know, there's a hill there, so everything's going to go to the west. And there's already a drainage pond further on the west. So as they add additional phases, all that drainage is going to go into that drainage pond in the pink area. And then also through storm drains all the way to the basin on that creek side. So all that's been vetted out to make sure that as they build the phases, there's no ponding or pooling or holding of water. Most of our drainage that we're doing now with the developments is all underground. No ditch or bar ditch type of arrangement.
Sure, but I mean, even in the time that I've been in Terrell, I've noted, like as growth comes in, you can start to see patterns change. You can start to see patterns change across people's neighborhood, across their farmland. And so while we say that, it's always good to kind of know, because if you go up 2578, there's been quite a bit of change.
That's a little bit different story there.
So how that goes.
Yeah. As far as developments, anytime anyone builds anything, the role that we play in is as you build something and come for a building permit, is that you do not incur or move any additional water off your property or shed water off your property to your neighbor. So that's unlawful to do that.
What about things like, did they meet the requirements for public space, parkland?
Yes, that's all been part of that. Tonight is just the construction plat.
Okay, so they've met all those things.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And Commissioner, if you'll look at the plan development, then I have attached at the back of the package ordinance 2949 from 2022 that will probably remind you about some of the items, because there is going to be a huge nature trail. There's going to be amenities. There's going to be a park system. They're providing a lot of different features of this development. It's just, we're not at the correct phase yet till that part of the construction starts.
So what you're going to see, commissioners, as we come to you as each phase, it's going to be housing single family, okay? The retail is going to be up along the access road, and the retail's not going to come until the rooftop's there. It's just economics, okay? You don't build a Burger King or McDonald's and there's no one around. So the retail, there's a lot of discussion about it, and I'm not going to deny that, but they're all sitting back waiting for the rooftops to get there because they need the density. You got to have people there. You don't build things and then no one's around. So you're going to see as we do phases, they're going to be more single family. Just as you can see, we're going to be coming as the colors change in the future. So, but tonight for you is just the construction plat of that.
Any other questions, commissioners, for staff? Okay, any more questions? Do I have a motion on the floor in regards to construction plat 25-04?
I make a motion that we approve the construction plat 25-04.
I have a motion to approve construction plat 25-04. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Motion carries. All right, then.
Chairman, I did have a placeholder for an executive session, but I'm not quite ready to make that presentation, so that will be extended for next month. And I knew you all wanted to get home early tonight, so.
If there's anything else on the agenda, then the meeting's adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. That was, wasn't it?
I know.